My name is Joe Lodder, and I've been in Hong Kong for 15 years. I was a former jockey, an injury curtailed that. I broke my back and subsequently wasn't able to ride anymore. And so this kind of Action Asia, my kind of mission to work and help people with disability has come because one day I stood on a mountain in Hong Kong looking around and seeing the beautiful views that we have in Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is unbelievably beautiful, guys. Just do not underestimate how beautiful this city is of ours, because we ran through some pretty rough areas along the way in China. So let's appreciate. I sat on the beach today, looked at that, had a coffee, and looked out at sea, and really appreciating what I hear from the mountains behind us. So I'm up on a mountain, and I'm thinking, God, I'm lucky. And from that point, I thought it was only less than a millimeter that defined whether I was able to be stood on this mountain, although we do have someone with us who is in a wheelchair who goes up mountains as well, so but we'll leave that one out at the moment. But I felt that because of that, I wanted to try and help people who weren't as lucky as me to be able to see what I see. And so that's kind of part of the mission of Action Asia Foundation, to bring people with disability into areas of Hong Kong which they might feel that they can't have accessibility to. And so that's kind of part of the mission. And so this is where the idea came from, to run across China. Originally, it was me. I was going to run on my own. I'm very lucky that I run with John. We have an early birds club, and we run with some seriously good runners. And we both felt that how are we going to outdo these runners that we run with in the morning? There's only 6 of them. They win races, they win break records in marathons, they do all these kind of things. And so I said, come on, John, let's run across China, and then maybe we can be on par with these guys. And so the idea came, and then the principal came and said, why don't you bring some students with you? You know, this could really help them. You know, it could really kind of, these students are good kids, but they're on the line. It could be social services. These are good kids, but they need something to kickstart them. And this would be I know it's out of the box and it's very different, but this could really start something different. And I didn't jump at the chance. I'm not saying that I went, yeah. I was quite worried about it because it was starting with 14 students, and I just felt that was a lot. But anyway, we narrowed it down to 9, and I was apprehensive at the start. I was worried about this, but oh my God, what happened and what I saw with my own eyes and how I saw these students change. And I've been thinking about this. What is the one word that comes out of this whole experience? What is the one word that John and I have come together, and what have we got out of this? What is the one word that the students have got out of this? What is the one word that everybody who's been involved in this, Eric, Chusa, who organised all of this, the teachers who were involved in helping make this happen, the drivers who drove the students, the drivers who drew the film crew that came. What is the one word that defines this whole run? And it's friendship. And what does friendship do? When you have friends, what does it do? When you've got people to talk to, when you've got people around you, what does that do? It gives you strength. You've got peace of mind, you've got help, you've got someone there who's on your shoulder, who's going to look after you. You can talk to people, you go out of your own self, and you can become more than you are as an individual. And this is what I saw. John and I, we became very, very good friends. And as a friend, you've got to tell your friends that you love them. Not just, hey bro, I love you. Really, I love you. And I love this guy. I love this guy. He is my friend, he is my brother. We become we'll always have this together. But it wasn't just us. It wasn't just about us. It was about the students. And I saw this. I'm outside of this slightly. These guys are really involved in the students. What I saw grow between these students was their friendship. And what started to happen, they started to stop looking at their phones, and they started talking to each other. And the more they talk to each other, the more I see them hugging each other as we go out in the mornings, because we started they ran 10K with us every morning. And I saw this bond that was happening with them. And now going forwards, how is this going to change their lives? They're going to talk to each other. If they're having a bad time, they're going to talk to each other because they're friends. They're close. They've got this bond. And one of the issues that we see with children is there's too much time on their phones, and this has an effect on their brain. But when you've got a friend, you start talking to that friend, and that has a positive mental effect on them. And the principal has always talked about the concern of suicide numbers in Hong Kong and China, but going through. And this is a worry. How can we stop this? And you can stop this by having friends, because you've got someone to talk to. We saw that with that. Not only that, but we started seeing it with the drivers. The drivers became friends. They started running every day. We saw it with the film crew. They started running every day as well. The same thing. How do you have a team as big as we did, running 60, 70, 80K in a day, sitting together, being together? How do you have them not argue? how do you have them, if they do argue, be friends very quickly? And it's all through friendship. And it was friendship that was garnered through us running, to them running, to everyone running together. And when I look at this as being the most incredible ripple effect, because that will continue, and friendships will continue outside of that. They'll form other friendships and other things go forward. And so this has been the biggest defining moment of what we have achieved on this run. We have achieved, we've gained new friends, and going forwards, I'm excited that we will continue trying to do something very similar, ongoing. Taking that aside from what we're trying to work with the disability side of things, because there's also a roll-on effect with that. My good friend Ajmal is here. He's such a lovely guy, and he's got amazing stories himself. And he's my friend. This has come out of this. And Jackie, who was there at the finish for us, he's a really good buddy of mine. And all of these, they're ripple effects of what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to drop that stone into the river, not into the river, into the pond, cause a ripple effect, and keep this running throughout. And so for me, that's what's come out of this friendship, starting with John and I, and rolling down, and Eric, and it's amazing. Sorry I went on a bit about that, get emotional, but it's so true.
Good question. Yeah, thanks, great answer.